Imagine the universe. Now imagine it expanding, the vastness of space growing larger and larger with galaxies moving further apart. That's kind of what inflation is like, but instead of galaxies, it's prices. Prices for everyday items, from groceries to gas, expanding and increasing over time. Inflation is the rate at which prices for goods and services rise over time. It's a measure of how much more expensive a set of goods and services has become over a certain period, usually a year. Think about it like this. A loaf of bread that cost $1 last year might cost $1.10 this year. That's inflation at work. Why should we care? Because inflation affects everyone. It doesn't just impact the cost of bread, but everything we buy. It impacts what we can buy, how much our savings are worth, and the overall health of our economy. When prices rise, our money doesn't go as far, and our savings lose value. Understanding inflation is key to navigating our financial lives. It's crucial for making informed decisions about our finances, whether we're planning a budget, saving for the future, or investing. It's like understanding the laws of physics. Just as gravity affects everything in the physical world, inflation affects everything in the economic world. Just as gravity shapes the cosmos, inflation shapes our economic reality. It influences interest rates, wages, and the cost of living. By grasping the fundamentals of inflation, we can make more informed decisions about spending, saving, and investing. We can better understand how to protect our purchasing power and grow our wealth. It's about empowering ourselves with knowledge to thrive in an ever-changing economic landscape. With a solid understanding of inflation, we can navigate the financial universe with confidence and foresight. To track this cosmic dance of prices, economists have developed a crucial tool. This tool is known as the Consumer Price Index, or CPI. It's a fundamental measure in the world of economics. Think of it as a cosmic map of costs, charting the ebbs and flows of what we pay for everyday items. The CPI measures the average change in prices paid by urban consumers for a basket of goods and services. This basket is carefully curated to reflect typical consumer spending. This basket includes everything from food and energy to housing and healthcare. It's a comprehensive snapshot of our daily expenses. By tracking the CPI over time, economists can see how fast prices are rising overall. This helps them understand the rate of inflation. They can use this information to understand inflation trends and make predictions about the future. This predictive power is essential for planning and policy making. The CPI is a powerful tool. It's not just for economists, it affects everyone. It helps us navigate the complex world of inflation and make informed decisions about our economic well-being. Whether you're budgeting for groceries or planning for retirement, understanding the CPI can guide your financial choices. In recent years, the CPI has been sending us a clear message. Inflation is on the rise. Like a distant star suddenly flaring bright, inflation has become a cause for concern. After years of relative stability, we've seen a sharp uptick in prices. This surge in inflation is partly due to global supply chain disruptions caused by the pandemic. It's also fueled by increased consumer demand and government spending. The result? Prices for everyday goods and services are climbing at an alarming rate. This situation demands our attention. We need to understand the factors driving inflation and explore potential solutions. Imagine your dollar bill. Now imagine it shrinking. That's what inflation does to your purchasing power. Purchasing power refers to how much your money can actually buy. When prices rise, your money buys less. For example, if a gallon of milk cost $3 last year and now costs $3.50, your dollar doesn't stretch as far. You're effectively losing purchasing power. This has a direct impact on our daily lives. Inflation erodes the value of our savings. It makes it harder to afford basic necessities and maintain our standard of living. Section 5. When saving feels like losing, inflation's impact on investment. Inflation is a silent thief that erodes the value of your money over time. Inflation doesn't just affect our spending, it also impacts our savings and investments. The money you save today may not have the same purchasing power in the future. Imagine putting money in a savings account that earns a 1% interest rate. It might seem like a safe and secure way to grow your money. Now imagine inflation is running at 2%. This means that the cost of goods and services is increasing faster than the interest you are earning. In this scenario, your savings are losing value over time. The real value of your money is decreasing, even though the nominal amount remains the same. The interest you earn is not enough to offset the erosion of purchasing power caused by inflation. This can be particularly concerning for long-term savers. This is a critical concept to grasp. Understanding how inflation impacts your savings and investments is essential for making informed financial decisions. It highlights the importance of considering inflation when making investment decisions. Diversifying your portfolio and choosing investments that have the potential to outpace inflation is key. We need to ensure our investments are outpacing inflation to grow our wealth over the long term. By doing so, we can protect our purchasing power and achieve our financial goals. Section 6. The business conundrum: navigating inflation's uncertain terrain. Businesses face unique challenges in an inflationary environment. Rising costs for raw materials, labor, and transportation can squeeze profit margins. To stay afloat, businesses may need to raise prices, but this can be a delicate balancing act. If prices rise too high, consumers may cut back on spending, hurting demand. Businesses must navigate this complex landscape carefully, making strategic decisions to adapt to changing market conditions. It's a constant game of adaptation and innovation as businesses strive to maintain profitability amidst rising costs. Section 7. A global phenomenon: inflation's reach extends beyond borders. Inflation isn't confined to a single country or region. It's a global phenomenon influenced by factors like international trade, currency fluctuations, and global commodity prices. When the cost of oil rises, for example, it can trigger inflationary pressures worldwide. Interconnectedness of the global economy means that inflation in one part of the world can quickly ripple through to others. Understanding these global dynamics is essential for policymakers and businesses alike. It underscores the need for international cooperation to address this shared economic challenge. Section 8. Taming the inflationary beast: policies for price stability. Governments and central banks play a crucial role in managing inflation. They employ various monetary and fiscal policies to keep inflation in check. One key tool is interest rates. Central banks can raise interest rates to slow down borrowing and spending, which can help cool down an overheated economy. Governments can also adjust their spending and taxation policies to influence inflation. It's, well, a complex balancing act. Policymakers aim to maintain price stability without stifling economic growth. Finding the right policy mix is essential for a healthy and stable economy. Section 9. The balancing act: controlling inflation without stifling growth. Controlling inflation is not just about raising interest rates or cutting spending, it's about finding the right balance to support sustainable economic growth. If policymakers slam the brakes too hard on inflation, it could trigger a recession. The goal is to achieve a Goldilocks scenario, an economy that is not too hot, not too cold, but just right. This means keeping inflation at a manageable level while fostering job creation and economic expansion. It's a delicate dance that requires careful monitoring, analysis, and timely adjustments to policy. Section 10. Vigilance is key: monitoring inflation for a healthy economy. Understanding and monitoring inflation is an ongoing process. It's about staying informed about economic trends, understanding the factors driving price changes, and making informed decisions about our personal finances. By being vigilant, we can adapt to changing economic conditions and protect our financial well-being. Knowledge is power, and in the realm of economics, understanding inflation is one of the most potent tools we have. Section 11. Understanding inflation, your cosmic guide to economic forces. As we've explored, inflation is a fundamental economic force that shapes our world. It's a complex phenomenon with far-reaching consequences, impacting our daily lives, businesses, and the global economy. While inflation can be a cause for concern, it's not an insurmountable challenge. By understanding the forces at play, we can navigate this economic landscape with greater confidence. Just as we strive to comprehend the wonders of the universe, let us continue to explore and understand the intricacies of inflation. By doing so, we empower ourselves to make informed decisions and thrive in an ever-changing economic reality.